Okay, we are live. Sorry, I was trying to figure out what my microphone was picking up sound-wise. It might be the fan in the background. I'm like, that shouldn't be picking up anything. It is Tuesday. It is needle felting day. And we're gonna see how the day goes. We'll see. I've got my little cup of water here and some scissors if I need them. I don't think I'm gonna need scissors today, but we've got them should we need them. And we are working on the banana slug. This is the husband's finger puppet of one that I'm kind of using as a little model here. And we got the underside color kind of laid in here. So now I'm working on the outer color, the back color, if you will. Which is always a little awkward to get started with here. But we are gonna do our best. And I highly recommend the finger protectors. That's what these are. It is still possible to stab through them. I have done it. Purely accidentally every time. But they have saved me from a potential worser injury, I feel, than it would have been without them. And I'm a ginormous klutz too, so it's just better. It makes the husband feel a little better that I have them on. I will say that. He was a little nervous when I was like, I want to do this. I'm like, this is safer than the wood burner. I want to do wood burning, but I'm afraid of the thing. I'm afraid I'm gonna fumble hand it and burn myself rather badly with how my hand likes to randomly let go of stuff. It's probably a valid concern. That and my hands are super heat sensitive. Like, I will go to pick up a cup and think it is scalding hot, and my husband picks it up like it's nothing. And I'm like, well, one of us is either underreacting or overreacting. And I don't know which is the case, but I've had plenty of people tell me that stuff's not that hot when I go to pick it up and I'm like wrapping paper towels around it. I'm like, that is scalding. I'm like, no, it's really not. I'm like, it is? But it is. I don't know. Maybe I'm just all sorts of nerve messed up from my neck issues. Who knows at this point? I give up. Alright, so let's see here. So it's probably going to take like multiple layers to get this the shade that I want it to be, or as thick as I want it to be. right? Because I've got some thin spots in there that I want to get covered up. Now, for those that are new here, I mostly use acrylic yarn. I have a little bit of roving that I do need to use up. I just haven't had the time to deal with that. Something is making a tapping noise on my desk. I don't know what it is. Oh, I think it's my monitor. Never mind. That's not something I can really do much about. That monitor, man. That particular monitor has been cursed since I got it. Absolutely cursed. When I go to get up from my desk, certain ways I step on the floor in this room, my monitor turns off. It's ridiculous. A couple of times during some thunderstorms, it would blink off right before it thundered. I'm like, really? You're in a grounded outlet. Dang it. There's something going on with that monitor. And I don't have the money to replace it. So it's kind of filling in. Kind of. It's going to take a fair bit of this color. Because our guy's kind of long. Probably longer than it really needed to be, but we like to do things a little extra around here. Right? If we're going to go to the trouble of doing it. So, actually opened one of the kits for my mom's Christmas present. And it kind of looks smaller than the size embroidery hoop they sent. So I'm a little like, huh. Well, that's weird. I have other embroidery hoops, but those might be a little small. I'm not sure yet. We'll have to see when I go to start that. I won't be starting it next week, but I need to start it soon. I got a little bit of editing done last night, not as much as I wanted to, because I was distracted yet again. Don't know how much I'm going to get done today, because it is Fallout Weekly rollover day. And I have a score boost that I want to use. So I might be in Fallout most of the day. And you know what? It's okay. And I think Susie was mad that I wasn't in bed at like 9 o'clock on the dot last night. He's been getting a little angry about my bedtime, so I haven't been able to get as much done later in the evening as I would like to. But, you know, we'll see how things go. That's all we really can do. Is just kind of do a day at a time. Okay. Alright, so we need a bit more fluff and stuff. I kind of forgot that I was going to paint the edges of the seahorse last night. And I cleaned up everything. And then later in the evening, I looked over, I was like, oh, damn, I forgot. So, yeah, I didn't end up getting that done. Sorry, I didn't know what the husband was doing. I can hear him, like, doing things, but I didn't know what he was doing. It looks like he's feeding the bird feeders. Filling the bird feeders, feeding the birds. I guess that would technically be feeding bird feeders. So that the bird feeders can turn around and then feed the birds, technically. I didn't think we had that much action. I didn't think we'd had that much action in the bird feeders.
That's because the food got low.
Alright, so it's gonna take us a minute.
What I topped off with the thistle like you talked about.
Oh, the finch seeds?
Uh-huh.
Is she back inside yet?
Nope.
The suet still looks pretty good, though.
Yeah. Again, the starlings haven't swept in the meat.
Yeah, I think it's just the one woodpecker that's been, slowly tapping at it. I mean, we'll see how this looks in the end. Got a little loose fuzzy tail there. Just trying to tuck up on in. I mean, the yarn gets a little fuzzy as you're manhandling it. And it's rubbing against the mat and stuff. Like, it's gonna happen. Kitten's been crawling all over my stuff. I found him in the mixer bowl after I was setting it up to make pizza dough this morning. I went to go start setting it up. I'm like, why has this mixer bowl got so much crud in it? So I had to rinse out the bowl. And I'm like, what is going on with this? Where did this come from? And rinsed it, dried it, reset it up. I come out in the kitchen to start doing the dough after my yeast was ready, and I look up, and Bean has got his front feet in the freaking mixer bowl. He's half wrapped around the dough hook, and he's looking at me, and I'm like, get the hell out of there. I forgot he was loose. I'm lucky he didn't freaking turn it on, because it's just a slide switch. Now I need to make sure that I don't attach that hook till when I'm standing there with it. And I had to re-rinse everything again. I'm like, ugh. Like, Bean, you are so ornery. So there was a moment last night where I guess it was recharge the bean time. And he was all in nap mode and was laying on the bed, and Cal came up and laid down next to him and actually had his feet on him for a little bit. And Bean didn't seem to mind. And I was like, oh, are we slowly reaching calm down? Actually, you know, be out together and not be trying to rip patches of fur off of each other moments? Are we ever so slowly getting there? But we're gonna have to, pretty soon we're gonna have to let him loose at night. And my mom is gonna have to wake us up in the morning when she wants to go out for her smokes in the morning. So I'm gonna have to wake up at like 5:36 and either put him in the kitty condo or put him in the other room for a few hours until we're up, because he cannot be trusted around the doors. If the porch was screened in and a little more secure, I'd feel slightly better about it, because then if he did get out the door on my mom, he would be on the porch. And a little less likely to get out into traffic. But our porch is really awkward and not something that we can easily screen in. And I'm sure we'd have to get some kind of work permit. And since I'd be trusting it not to let the cats escape, that'd probably be something I'd want to hire someone else to do. So we're slowly kind of chipping away. At adding our color into here. Everything all right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll get this all worked into here. I'll be so glad once I get this tissue paper project finished being edited. Just because of the sheer amount of time that it is taking me to get through it. Alright. So I was looking at the instructions on this embroidery kit, and I'm like, oh boy. I might have to look up a video on a couple of the stitches because reading the instructions, English wasn't the first language. You can tell by the way it's worded. And it's a little confusing. I think I get it with the picture. But I might look up a video just to see it physically being done. But I think I get it. Oh, wait. That's not the recycling bin, is it? Oh, yeah. Our recycling's on Wednesday morning, not Tuesday morning. They didn't change the day on us, did they? I hope not. Because that would be mildly inconvenient to not know that they changed the day. I would have thought that we would have gotten a letter. It used to be Thursday mornings. And then we got switched to Wednesday morning. Seems like they're always changing something. Alright. Let's grab another bit here. I tend to work in smaller chunks there. Just because that gives my my neck a slight rest in between. Now I still have to make the display log for this guy. So I'll probably start that once we get him all put together himself here. Sometimes the fluff wants to sit a little bit high. Doesn't want to get caught by the needle very well. Sometimes. It depends. So that's why I'm just kind of smoothing it back down. Getting it closer to our polyfill there. And feel free to work in thicker swaths, larger swaths, if you so choose. This is just what works for me a bit better. Like I've got a piece of fuzz in my mouth that does not want to go away. No, don't bring your nonsense over here. What? He wasn't even touching you. He didn't even touch you that time. Come on now. Don't start under my feet. Come on. Go. Go. Go on. No, get off my stuff. Thank you. I don't need you wrestling in the middle of my art supplies. Thanks. That's not gonna do anybody any favors, okay? So let's just not. Alright, I'm just gonna hit that with a little bit of water. Just so I can get that a little bit flatter. It's been a bit dry here lately, so everything's a little extra staticky as of late. You know, you two were being so good. You two were coexisting most of the morning, kind of ignoring each other. I guess Bean was just distracted and fascinated by everything else this morning. And now that he's grown bored with everything else, he's like, Cow, entertain me. But I don't really think Cow minds as much as he acts like he minds. Because, I mean, they were cuddling together and all. So, if he really minded, he wouldn't be anywhere in Bean's presence, like Peabut. Peabody's like, nope, nope, nope. When Peabut does come out, he's like hiding under a chair, using it as a defensive position. Kind of hilarious. It's like, you all need to get along. At least be civil cats to one another, but, you know. These guys don't know the meaning of that, apparently. Don't know the meaning. Like, I'm trying to not constantly stab in the same place. But I'm also trying to fill it in as we go, so I know it looks like I'm just stabbing into the same spot. It's kind of next to it, but it is a little bit thin, so it kind of is a little deceiving. And then I've got some little loose bits that I'm still trying to get worked into there. Okay. And we're just working this color into place. This is our base body color, and it's going to take a while. I don't know how long a while that's going to be, because we've got a fair bit of ground to cover here. I mean, this other side took us most of a session, and that was not as wide. So it's going to be a slow mover, especially if I have to stop and get some more fluff put together here. I don't know if I'm going to need to do so yet. I will at some point, probably. But we'll see. Not sure what bin that color is in. This color. Might be in this one larger bin. I've got two bins. One's slightly bigger than the... Well, one... They might actually be the same size. One's just black and the other one's clear. Might be in the black bin. I've got a fair amount of yarn crammed into that one. Didn't quite all fit in one bin. But the other bin had a little bit of room in it, so I've got a fair bit of my tissue paper stuff crammed in with that yarn, and I need to move the rest of the tissue paper stuff into there with it, because I got those plastic stackable drawers. Some I had, some were handed off to me that were in a little bit better shape when I got them, but they have warped somehow, and two of the drawers don't want to open now at all, even with all of the weight off of the stack. When I had everything completely pulled out and emptied, when I was reorganizing everything. Because I pulled all of my paint out and I was switching paint brands and I wanted them organized differently, and instead of just having them loose in a larger bin, I got some shoe boxes that I kind of have them sitting in so I can pull the shoe boxes out and actually look at the colors a little bit better. But the one drawer I had some of my tissue paper stuff in was being fussy about opening and closing, and I was like, well, I'm not doing as much of the tissue paper stuff anymore. But then when I was putting the stuff away from the big tissue paper project, I couldn't get the drawer open very well. And I was getting frustrated. I got some of it put away in there, and then I kind of gave up once I got the other container and just started putting everything in the larger container that was easier to access. Now, if I had an art room that I could shut the door on to keep the cats from making a huge mess of everything, I would get those like acrylic paint bottle stands, like the tiered ones. I think like a lot of people use them just to store nail polish on or makeup or whatever. I would use them for the acrylic paint and just have those like on a large dresser that I could store canvas and sketchbooks and everything in the drawers themselves. And have all kinds of brush vases out and easily accessible. And by a brush vase, I mean just like a cheap plastic vase from like Dollar Tree or somewhere, to just have them sitting in so I didn't have to put them away in a drawer. Or like even a bookshelf maybe that had adjustable shelving spacers on them. Just something like that. Okay. So I'm not sure if that bit of fluff really went all that far. Probably technically didn't. But I mean I did have a little bit of overlapping happening there. And that's fine. It'll take as much as it's gonna take, right? And there is gonna be another color, couple of colors coming in on top of this one. but I'm not sure where I'm gonna put them yet. And I don't know if I want to bring this like weird green color into it. Like the more I'm looking at this feels like more of a, is it more of a brown? Like a lighter brown with a darker brown on there. I don't know. It feels kind of green to me. Like I know it's not green green, but it feels like brown green. Like not these, but like the background color. Whoop, come back, banana slug. Like it's kind of weird. Like I can definitely see a little bit of that shade around it here. So I don't know if I want to like take some of that real light and kind of speckle it in at all. Or if I'm just gonna kind of ignore that bit a little bit. I don't know. I haven't fully figured that part out yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I'll have to figure that out sooner than later, obviously, but okay, I used all of that chunk. Time for a bit more fluff. Dogs seem to be feeling the gross weather today. Not exactly raining, but it definitely looks like it wants to. And I was only outside for a minute or two this morning so far. Miss Snuffles was in eating grass mode this morning, so it's like, yeah, no, I'm not taking you to the park this morning. Because all you're gonna do is eat grass there and then puke in the car on the way home. And I'd rather not. Plus, I don't know if they spray their grass with anything there. We kind of suspect they might, because there's like a specific ring around some of the rock work where nothing is growing. And it just seems a little strange that it would be all dirt in that specific spot. When there's grass everywhere else, so They might not, but we're suspicious of that particular spot. So it's like, yeah, no, you're not going to eat that grass. You can eat a little bit of grass at the house, although I'd prefer you not to. But at least we don't spray our grass with anything. We're usually doing the barest of minimums to keep the city from getting mad. It's like, it's cut. It's within your height requirement. Go away. Don't you have anything else better to do than bother people with executive function issues? We were actually excited when it started getting chilly because we're like, yes, the grass is gonna not be so much of a problem. And then the chili went away. And now we're just being mocked. It's like, really? Well, isn't that just dandy? I know I have a little bit of thin spot towards like this end of it. That's fine, because that's gonna get filled in more as we move along here. So I'm not forcing the needle terribly deep because the polyfill is a little stiff. And that's fine. I wanted it a little bit stiff because I didn't want this to deform too much as I was adding in the color. But that does have me moving a little bit slower. A, because I don't want to break the needle. And B, it's just a little bit denser to stab into. So that's going to add a little bit more time. Just, you know, trying to be gentle. Now the loose little tails down that end, I'm not that worried about yet. Because I know I'm going to have more color getting laid down onto that here. As I go. So it's not a huge problem. We'll get it stabbed in there eventually. So how's everybody doing on this Tuesday? Hopefully your Tuesday is going better than your Monday did. Hopefully. I say, Steam really wants me to know the husband is playing Hollow Knight. Like every 10 seconds I'm getting a pop-up about it. Yeah, I don't know if we're doing Katamari on Thursday this week. I know I still have to go back and finish Magic Hat. Eventually. Eventually we will. This week though, I think I'm not gonna do a bonus stream. So I can try to get more editing done. I feel like I'm treading through molasses on that one. It's not moving as fast as I would like to be. I mean, I know I'm making progress. It's just so mind-numbingly slow. But I do have to remind myself at times that, hey, you've still edited over 40 video recordings. A couple were over 3 hours. You've been averaging like 2 hours lately. Got through about an hour and a half of video last night, which was not terrible for me considering how distracted I was last night. So, hey, I will take that. But, the longer it takes me to get through each video, it feels like the less inclined I am to trudge through it. But I also have to remind myself that I had to start over the first set of 20 halfway through because I messed up and screwed up the whole file. Because I started renaming the videos after I'd put them in, and then it couldn't find the original raw video, and it's like, no, this doesn't exist. I'm like, it's right there. And the program was like, no, that's not the same one. And so I had to redo the whole thing. I think I just started video clip 43 last night. And that one I think was about an hour and a half. I think. So we'll see. Okay. We'll get this all worked into here. Okay. And we'll get all of this popped into here. I mean, we're not doing too terrible. I mean, of course, my brain always wants to see the progress a lot faster. But that's just not the way these critters quite work when I make them larger than they generally are. I'm gonna be on the edge of the brown here. As best I can. Just so we don't have any like weird gaps along that. And again, don't take anything that I'm doing as gospel. I'm just kind of figuring things out through trial and error and finding what works for me. And what works for me might not necessarily work for you, and that's fine. I mean, art is a journey. Reading is a journey. And not everybody's journey is going to look the same, have the same stops or detours or snackies along the way. But as long as I kind of get where I'm trying to, sort of, that's all I can really ask for. That it sort of resembles what I was trying to accomplish. Right? So we'll sort of, kind of get there. Even if it is something that ends up looking like an artistic rendition. An abstract rendition of a banana slug. I mean, I know I've seen some pictures where it was bright, bright, not quite neon yellow, but similar. But he fell in love with this one. So I'm trying to kind of use this guy as my inspiration. And then I have to make the display log. And the display log, I kind of need to make sure that the one side is flat. Or as flat as I can get it. So it doesn't roll around. So I have to remember when I'm making my end piece template to account for that. I don't know what I'm going to make that template out of yet. I could just use a piece of sketchbook paper. Piece of cardboard might, or poster board even, might be a little more sturdy. Hi. Thanks. I think Bean is learning to run from the water bottle being shook from Cow. Try to give them a warning beforehand to take it down a notch. All the little fuzzies are a little bit hard to contain, and it's going to be a little fuzzy, like that's just the nature of this. Even if it looks like I've gotten all the little fuzzes tamped down, eventually they will pop back up either with handling or just time. Just kind of the nature of it. Hi, hi, hi. Hi. Thank you. Calm down over there. My goodness. There. So, this one's to about here. I mean, we're doing pretty good. We haven't deformed too much. So, that's great. Work on getting this, and I gotta remember to tuck my other fingers out of the way. I have a bad habit of resting the unprotected fingers in places that the needle can get stabbed right through. We're pretty solid in this section though, but it's those times where I'm like, oh, I'm okay here, and then when I get further down, I don't think about it. Because up top, I was fine. And, hey! Stop! And then, like, I'll get down here and I forget that, oh, hey, needle can do a poke through part of that. I need to be careful. So let's see what we can get filled in. Hopefully. And again, I am trying to overlap this brown on the bottom just ever so slightly. Like, I don't want all of that brown to go away, but I am trying to keep any large sections of the polyfill color shining through there. Alright. And then we're just gonna start overlapping bits of fluff and just keep on going. I will say it does start to grab on a bit faster when it's got some more of its own fluff there to grab on to. Like it attaches to the polyfill okay. That's not really what I mean, but I don't know, it might be a little bit softer when it's dabbing into its own fluff. Kind of situation, so it's just going a little bit easier in those spots. Oh, used over there. Put the fan on. I'm getting a little toasty. Not terribly so, but a little bit. Okay. We are just gonna keep on tapping in here. All right. We're not doing too bad. All things considered for how slow the stabbing is at the moment. My goal is to at least get half of the coloring done. We might get more than that. Kinda depends. I'm trying to wait to do the head last. Just so that way I'm done rolling the body around and I don't smush it. because I have to do the little eye stalky things, and I don't want to painstakingly get those sorted just to smoosh them. That'll be a bit of a pain. So try to fix those. So I'm just gonna wait and we'll get those guys at the ends. So this section is stabbing in pretty quickly. I'm a little surprised. After the side was a lot denser. Maybe I just don't have this side quite as tightly packed in that particular spot. Anything's possible, really, with me. Could be anything. Get a little bit more fluffy bits here. Really, now I'm gonna have a hangnail show up and be a pain. Okay. That would figure. Kept catching the fluff on it. Mildly annoying. But not a huge problem. And sorry, my nails aren't as pretty as a lot of other streamers and all that. I bang my hands around a lot. Nails getting done is expensive. The nail polish and nail polish remover smells give me a mild headache on the best of times. It's very rare for me to wear nail polish, and then usually when I do put nail polish on, I end up smudging it within 5 minutes anyway. And then it's like I have to start over, and then I destroy something else when I tried to fix the smudge nail, and I don't like the feel of stuff on my fingernails. It feels like my fingernails can't breathe. To the point where it will annoy me and I will start chipping it off. Which just makes all that work and or money pointless, so. If you love the fake acrylic nails, or if they're your real nails and you just get enjoyment out of doing them, hey, that's great. I can't. I'm not against other people that do it. I just can't. I know my limitations, and that is one of them. No thanks. Okay. And we will get all of this. This kind of worked into here along our bottom seam here. Where our colors are meeting up. I'm just kind of trying to make sure that I am good and attached in there so that nothing's loose and getting shredded around in there. Okay. And I'll try to get it as overlapped as I can. But that might mean that I have to overlap more in here because this is kind of not laying on top of itself. It's not what it wanted to do. And that's okay. I mean, it's all got to get filled in eventually anyway. So I'm okay with that. We'll get it sorted eventually. Not a big deal. I know that piece isn't fully attached there. And that's okay. Like I said, it'll get attached eventually. Like we'll layer up on top of that piece. I'm more worried about the stuff up by this hand at the moment. Like that's the section I need to make sure that's actually sticking. As we go along here. And we're slowly tapping away at it. We're getting there. Okay. So far, so good, I think. Alright, still trying to get this spot filled in here. I'm slowly getting that gap filled in. We're just taking an alternate route to do so. And that's all. Alright, so I'm trying to kind of like even this up with the rest of it at the moment. Probably going to be a little uneven as we work our way around. I mean, eventually it will get evened up. Just through the process of completion. Right, like I've got a little bit of a thin spot there, but I can come back and see to that in the next bit of yellow that gets laid down on that side. Question I have is there. Is that... No, I don't think it is. I don't think that's a thin spot. Like, I don't believe it to be. I wasn't real sure at first, but for the most part, I don't necessarily think it is. Just at like a quick glance, it kind of did. What is this? Some kind of little dark bit of fuzz trying to get worked into there. Okay. So we've got this kind of laying down on top of that other little straggler there. Just a little bit. And that is kind of getting attached a bit better now. It still has a little bit of a loose tail there, but that's all right. It'll get dealt with here. Eventually. So now we're just kind of working this next bit into here. Okay. Had that moment of the kids are being quiet. But Bean was taking a bath on the bed. And seems to be behaving himself at the moment. Maybe we're finally seeing the beginnings of him starting to calm down a little bit. Okay. We'll get that. Okay. Oh, we need some more fluff. Yeah, we're gonna go through a lot of this fluff. I think we've gone through a fair bit already. I think we'll have enough for today. But I might need to make a point to fill this color tonight or over the weekend at the very least. Because we are using a good amount of it. And I mean, that's the whole purpose of it, is to use it. It's just I'm gonna have to refill my fluff storage. That's all. It's a little thin. Oh, see? Just tabbed into the side of the protector. I didn't get myself through it that time, though. Kind of hit the seam and hit a lot of resistance, so I managed to stop it. So that's good at least. Okay. Can't tell if that's some of the polyfill showing through in that spot, or if it's just a lighter section of this color. Probably just a lighter section of this color. More than likely. Next bit of fluff, please. Okay. So I still have to kind of figure out how far down I'm going to take this section in here. It all sorts of looked like a different color when I did that. It feels like velour a little bit. Okay. We had a couch once with this kind of texture on it. When I was growing up. I think it was like a tannish brown. And then it had this weird flower pattern that might have had some blue flowers on it. And I think we might have had a matching, I think it was a 3-piece set. I think it was a love seat, a couch, and then I think it had a chair. Didn't recline or anything, but I don't think it rocked either. I think it was just a regular old, like, extra wide cushion chair. That we had for a good while. Okay. So we'll get this guy all colored up here. Now, where do we want to put in the details? Where do I want to start adding those? This guy is a bit bigger than this one, obviously. So I'm thinking we might actually extend it to maybe here. Maybe. Or maybe here. Like, I don't know. Might be something like that in the end. Alright, next bit of fluff. So we start early so I can take my time. And I don't have to rush too much. I've learned that lesson. And to attempt to give myself extra time. Okay. I know this is like the really boring part because we're not shaping the body anymore, and that we are just kind of adding the color in, but it still needs to get done. It's still part of it. Like, we can't just skip a step, right? Now, if you just used roving for the middle, then, you know, or if you use the same color roving as the body, you'd probably already be to the detailing stage. I've tried to do the armature wire before and it just doesn't work for me. I find it annoys me because then I keep hitting the wire trying to work around it. So I'm probably doing something wrong with it. Some people were using pipe cleaners for their armature wire, and I'm like, but how? They just collapse. You guys like triple twisting your pipe cleaners, or are the pipe cleaners you get like industrial strength or something? Because all the ones that I've ever managed to get my hands on are flimsy as anything. Like, I've seen twist ties that were sturdier. It's like they've got to be like doubling them up or something. I have actual wire that I used for Sir Reginald Forktongue the Third. And I mean, it did serve its purpose, but that was not a fast sculpture to work on, even if you discount the fact that we were, why did it post that twice? That I was streaming it. Account created October 6th. Give me 1 second. My neck could use the break for a second anyway. Okay. Sorry, had to ban somebody. I don't know how this website is still in business. And every time their advertisements are getting blocked and banned, left, right, and center. It's just slightly annoying having to deal with it. And I know there's other bots that would probably auto ban it or like auto report it. Well, I don't know if it would auto report it. Probably ban it. I'd probably still have to go back and report it. But that one, the Twitch auto mod caught. Usually it's Moobot that catches it. I'm like, I didn't hear stream elements go off, so I guess the post didn't actually get posted. Got a little tiny spot right in here that needs just a little bit more fluff. Because I don't know if that was a thin spot or not, but the more I kept looking at it, the more it kind of did look like a thin spot. Because I know this particular sheet of yarn has some lighter strands to it. But it was bugging me. So if it's bugging me now, it's gonna bug me later, so I might as well just deal with it now. Sort of situation. Okay. So again, I'm gonna try to overlap that brown just a little bit. Just a little. This guy's like extraordinarily fuzzy, I guess because it's rubbing on the mat. The little fuzzes that are loose there, there's not a whole lot I can do with. Ah, but his other guys got kind of fuzzy too, so I think it's just the nature of the medium. Really. Alright. So I need to keep working my way down this side now. As best as I can here. Just trying to roll it slightly. I don't want it rolled. Wait, which side am I on? On this side. Like, I don't want it too tightly rolled right now. So I don't think it needs to be too tightly rolled at the moment. So like some sections in there, the needle is just like flying right into, which is great. But then I have to prepare myself for the denser sections too. So I don't do too much pressure on it and snap our needle friend here. Because that would not be a good time. We've snapped a few needles in our day so far, so no thanks. Okay. And we'll get this. Okay. So, slowly, ever so slowly, getting this all colored up here. Try to get this loose stuff here to cooperate a bit so we can get these little tails here all tucked in. Or at least as tucked in as we can get them. I did get the edge of that a little higher than I had planned on. Okay. That looks a little loose there. Probably wasn't, but I looked it slightly, so since I'm there, I'll just go ahead and give that a tap tap. Might as well, right? Okay. Get this. Like, I just at least want it slightly anchored, even if I don't fully attach that spot yet. Just so I've got something to kind of work with there. Okay. Get all of this. See, this is why I normally hold the little tail down, because it'll just vacuum that entire strand right up, sometimes before you're really ready for it to. But I'm okay with it doing that at the moment. In this particular section, it's not so bad. So we can just kind of pop all that in there. Now that is going to need another bit of fluff, because it's not fully filled in there. Okay, so I'm gonna just overlap that a little bit. I mean, maybe I should have overlapped it a little bit higher, because this is a little bit thin in there, but I can always come back and add a bit more into that spot. That's not too terribly the end of the world there. Just means I have to put a little bit of a patchy patch on there. Okay. So, just kind of keep working this color into place. And you know, if you think it looks like it's a little thin, or it's not as thick as you want it in a certain spot, slap some more fluff on there. It's fine. Like, I don't think you can really over fluff the coloring. You know, you fluff it till you're happy with it. I mean, that's kind of true with a lot of things. Not happy with your painting? Keep at it. Change something. Walk away from it and come back to it maybe a day or two later with fresh eyes. Flip it upside down and walk away from it for a while. Or turn it sideways or something. Come back a little while later. Or you can always scrap it and start it over. With this, just, add some more fluff to it. It's not quite the shape you want. Add more fluff until it is the shape you want it. Not quite the right color. Change the color. Just put some more fluff over top of it. Put the color fluff on there that maybe it should have been. It's fine. Like, the fluff police aren't gonna stand there and, like, be like, no. It's your bit of artwork. For you to create what you want. Okay. I think we're gonna start wrapping the color around again here. Alright, so guess I'll start up here. And then start to work my way around. Ever so slowly. I mean, we don't want to rush it. Rushing doesn't usually end well for anybody, so we're gonna take our time and just kind of work our way through it. Getting everything attached on into here. So this guy, I'm gonna try to extend out a little bit. Very careful around my finger here. Just so I have a little bit more space to attach to. Gotta remember to keep my fingers tucked back that aren't protected and actually doing anything. Because we're getting into a slightly thinner section where at a certain angle I could see maybe nicking my other fingers. I would like to get some more little known galaxy recorded. This weekend too. Hopefully I can find the time. I was like trying to record an episode or two before I went to bed, but a certain doggo has had other ideas lately. I don't like going too long between recording because I kind of forget what I was working on. Which is always mildly frustrating. I think I vaguely remember where I left off. Kinda. Alright. And that's turning out to be a interesting little game also with a bunch to do. And I've noticed that I need to plant a lot more crops than what I've got going on so that I can start making more money than what I have. Because I need to make a lot more repairs. I'm very slow moving in the cozy games, and sometimes I feel like I should be getting quests done faster, but then they like throw so much at me at once. I'm like, what's the priority here? I guess the priority is what you decide it to be. But at the same time in that game, they're also keeping track of like crew morale and your like friendship with your crew, and I'm like, oh, oh dear. And they're like, oh, morale is slowly improving. And I'm like, okay, but it could be like a lot better. Like, who has time to talk to every single crew member in the course of a day? I mean, there was a friendship festival, and I think I only got 2 cards from crew members, and I'm like, I have gone out of my way to do stuff for you guys, completing your bulletin board stuff, risking life and limb on another planet to complete errands for you, who hasn't bothered leaving the ship at all. And this is the thanks I get. Well, I never. Alright. But, it's, interesting so far. I don't hate it. I will say that. I don't hate it yet, I'll put it that way. Still kinda waiting to see how things go before I really make a final decision on how it's going. we will see how things keep going with that. So where am I exactly? About here-ish. That section needed a little bit more coloring, I think. Alright. So, I mean, on the one side, like, we're, like, halfway down, but we still need to wrap that around. In this particular section, we're not doing too bad. At the very least. Okay. Getting this kind of worked into there. There. Okay, so I'm gonna still keep trying to overlap a bit where I can. Again, just so it doesn't get weird or anything. Because, I mean, sometimes you can get like a weird seam to show up. I mean, if you do get a weird seam to show up, just, you know, slap some more fluff over that section and it should kind of fade into the background. Should. Okay. Keep this going here. As best as we can. I feel like I'm using a lot of fluff and not covering a whole lot of ground, but that is sort of the nature of the critters. For me. I'm sure there's better ways to do them. But this is how we're doing it, and to be perfectly honest, we don't use a whole lot of this color anyway. At least not right now. And I can't get new yarn if I don't use up the old stuff, right? So, might as well. But definitely getting into the thinner parts of the body down this way. So that's pretty good. So what do we have going on tomorrow? Tomorrow we have Planet Zoo, migraine permitting, of course. Um, what were we working on? Oh, we were still trying to finish up that gift shop. And I have to figure out what I'm going to do about the floor. Because it bugs me that the path is kind of sticking out to a degree in places. So I think I have to finish adding in some windows. I'm not sure if I got all of the trim in place yet. That I don't remember. But we'll figure that out. I don't think I have too much further to go in it. But I do have a little bit more to go on it. And then I need to work on the education building. Probably slap an information booth in there. And add some more like educational thingies of some description. But we'll see if I have time to start that tomorrow because I still have to landscape around the building for the gift shop and make the sign. I forgot we hadn't made the sign yet. Maybe we can take that binturong from the sign, like that flat one that we were using, and like lay that on part of the sign with a box that it's batting around or something of some description like that. Something silly. Okay. Alright, that's not so bad in there. Whoop. Fan caught that one. So that's not good. I don't need the fan blowing all the fluff around for the cats to find later. No, no, no. Let's not do that. So I don't think we'll finish coloring this today. Mostly because my neck's not been great the past few days. And I'm trying not to piss it off extra. So it might be a shorter stream today. And that's okay if it is. You know, a shorter stream today means I can stream tomorrow, essentially, so. Okay. Alrighty. Now, I know we didn't get super far today, but I think my neck needs a break. So I think I'm gonna stop there for today. I can feel the pressure building in it. Now, this guy is a bit tough to stab into, but we're not doing too bad. So we just need to bring that over to here, and then we'll be more than halfway done getting the body color in. And I've still got plenty of time to do this guy, so I'm not really worried about that. So yeah, I think we'll call it there for today. We did a solid 2.5 hours of stabbing in this guy. Not too bad. So I hope to see everybody for Planet Zoo tomorrow. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their afternoon. Don't forget to, excuse me, follow the socially links down below. And that will take you to the Ko-fi page, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channel. Thank you for popping in today. And I'll see everybody tomorrow. Until next time.